Okay, so this is my first YouTube video on this new YouTube channel, now that I'm sexy. Uh, I like giving advice, and I like talking to people, and I talk to a lot of people. This is my entrepreneurship hands. And this is a little intro video where I'll tell you one tip on how to be cool and how to be social. Uh, and maybe I'll link like some videos from like actually smart people in the comments or the description. So make sure to check that. And while you're down there, subscribe, give me money, whatever you want to do. So my advice is kind of simple, and something that I've done when I was younger, but not to quite the same effect, which is the best way to okay, so I don't know if you're trans. You're probably not, because not a lot of people are. So it's just like, you talk about it and people are like, what? That's crazy. Okay. But basically when you're trans, it's like you created your character in Dark Souls and shit, and you like set up all their outfits and everything. It's like nice. But then you hit the little gender button thing and it like swaps your outfits and shit. So like your hair and skin is the same color or whatever, but it just fucks up your entire outfit. Now it's like that, but like every sort of hey Carol, my little cat, every single like social interaction that you have with somebody, or you get bullied, because people are like, oh, you are acting like a boy when you look like a girl, or vice versa, and you're like, yeah, I don't know, wow, and they're like, ha, don't do that, and it's like, oh shit. So thank you, baby. A lot of trans people have a lot of repressed social expression and shit, and so when they become themselves, when they come out of the closet, when they're safe and able to express themselves, or they just decide fuck it, even if they're not safe and able to safely, they might be able to vent in specific spaces and stuff, which isn't, I want people to be safe, but it's like it's pretty hard to cap somebody's humanity, so it's something that people tend to get to, whether people around them want it or not. All that rambling aside, so the best way to like express yourself, maybe like in a general, more social sense, like if you're telling jokes, or if you're like, man, I wish I was as funny as like these other people or whatever. Like, if you listen to the stuff that the people who you think are funny are doing, at least for me, it's stuff where it's like a little bit more personal than you expected, a little bit more like, not like they've thought about it like as they're making the joke, but rather that they've thought about it in general. So the two things are, one, think about how stuff in life affects you, which is hard and shitty and stressful, especially if you don't have the time or energy to do that. Two, is to, when you express yourself, do basically like what people do in weightlifting, where you do like just under like the maximum amount of weight that you can like lift. Because if you go like full max or above, you can like hurt yourself. But if you're like just a bit below and you do like 3-ish reps, like 3 curls with like as heavy as a thing that you can curl, or just under, then like you're going to be building muscle a lot faster. Jeez. But you have to like take breaks and stuff. And you can do this socially too. Like you can tell jokes that are like personal, but like not quite like too personal, that are like kind of weird and quirky, I guess, but like kind of weird and out there, but like just a little bit like you're still noticing what's going on. You're not just like off in your own space, because that's the issue that I had, because like I was just like, I don't want to pay attention to myself. I don't like something about myself, and whenever I start to try to, and this isn't conscious, but this is the behavior that I adapted. Whenever I try to express myself in the way that is like fully genuine, like I get blowback. I get people like telling me not to act like that, basically. So like I would like basically close my eyes to my own like self because that was the only way that I could function. Um, so what you do is what I would do before was basically the same idea except without that self-awareness and not that connection to other people. Because if you're disconnected from yourself, you're going to be disconnected from other people because you are a people. So you lose a lot of valuable information with that. Um, yeah. So so work on being self-aware and about how your interactions with other people. There's a lot of baggage there, so like that'll take a while. So start with like just like little things that you notice, like maybe every time, like you can even start with like healthy self-awareness, where you're like every time that you're talking to one of your friends and you make a specific type of joke, they laugh a little bit harder than other times. You can like can take notice, and that's self-awareness. You're being aware of an action that yourself is carrying out. And then you can also like maybe like you make a your mom joke or something, and but they have like a really stressful relationship with their mom right now. Like you can notice that a little bit, and like it's an easy thing not to make your mom joke. Like you could get into the habit of doing it pretty easily, but it just as easily you could be like, yeah, notice, um, uh, and like adjust that slowly. So it's like a less happy version, but still like not the extreme self-awareness that I don't know. I feel like people are often well, we all bottle shit up. So we bottle up like our self-awareness stuff to the point where like when we do start thinking about stuff, we're just like, but it's formless because like if you only let like the back if you only leave stuff in the back of your head, you're not gonna like form rational arguments like unless you have that subconsciously, unless you've already got those like healthy behaviors like in your mind and stuff, like subconsciously built up and practiced, like you're not going to when you put stuff in the back of your head process it in a way that's like healthy. You're going to process it the way that you did the last time that you interacted with that sort of feeling or emotion. And that could have been when you were like 5 and like, I don't know, some jackass or your parents who are, could also be jackasses just like shamed you for liking Pokemon cards or some banal shit that like doesn't matter. So, uh, but since we like bottle all that up, it like we do process, like we still do like store that information. It's just like we have no control and we have no direction of how it's like set up. It's all based on instinct. Because like with learning stuff, I was watching some good videos. I'll finish this off in just a moment, but this is a good tangent. I was watching some videos about like learning and stuff, and one of the things was just like while you're like drawing and stuff, or what like whatever you want to learn while you're working on learning it, like randomly just taking a 30-second break, like your brain will like process that information in the back of your head like 5 times faster or some shit, or it'll like re-download the information, like you're re-absorbing it in the back of your head, and this isn't even like something you're really aware of. And I like kind of did stuff like this, like not on purpose. When I wouldn't do my homework and stuff, like I would look at the problem really intensely for like one day, and I'd think about it and think about it, and then it'd just kind of be in the back of my head for the rest of the week. And I wouldn't really practice, but I would hold it in the back of my head and kind of process it. So the next time I, you know, if it was piano class or whatever, like if I sat down in front of the keyboard, I could kind of play the song a bit better because I had it going in the back of my head a bit. And that's the same shit that's happening to your self-doubts. So when you're like avoiding them, which is totally understandable, it's a natural sort of thing to do, and it can be for your own like stability sort of stuff basically. But when you're doing that, unfortunately, you're still processing like all this stuff that's more of the stuff that's going around you than you let off or than you'd assume, because it's like going in the back of your head and it's replaying, and like that's how a lot of like really intense but very vague I would say like negative emotions are built up, is that we aren't given the time or space to process them, and we maybe have only negative or unhealthy ways of looking at the information from previous experiences to go off of. So then, like, that builds and continues to process in the back of our heads. So that's how we continue to think. But yeah, so be as almost cringe as you can be. Reflect on your actions, behaviors, and all that is easier when you're in an environment where it's like chill to do so. So maybe like if you have a group chat, or even if you just like I wrote poetry for years, music and stuff like that. If you have like a little iPad and GarageBand, make some weird boops, or like if you have a pencil and paper, just scribble a scratchy looking creepy face to show how you feel, because like that really does help. And it's not a perfect solution. Like the perfect solution is being in a healthy environment and like processing things. But as you're getting there and like as you're slowly working towards that, you can do other stuff too. Where it like kind of helps. Like here, I kind of felt like garbage this morning, so I drew this. You know, I like the little swirly eyes. And it's cool. And I tweeted this out. I have a Twitter. You probably know that, unless I'm famous now, and then you don't know that. And don't find out. But I tweeted it out, and it with the layer text over it that said "No pussy yet, boy," and I think that's very funny. I think that's because, you know, it's a combination of I'm explaining the meme, so I'm ruining it now, and I'm explaining them explaining the meme, which double ruins it. But you know, no pussy yet, boy. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. I passed the 10-minute mark, so even though this is my first video, it should blow up. I should get AdSense and become a famous YouTuber and then get canceled in like 3 or 4 days. Okay, so follow for that. Alright, bye.